Welcome to the fourth episode of Lalitha Sahasranamam Stotra. The first sloka is Srimata Sri Maharagni Srimat Simhasaneswari. So the first entity or the first energy form or first nama is Sri Mata. Sri Mata means, what does Sri Mata means? Sri means the harmony between the earth element that is northbound and the fire element that is southbound. Union of these two in Anahat Chakra, that is called Sri. E means Anahat Chakra, we have discussed in the alphabet while talking about the alphabet. So Sa means fire element, Ra means the earth element of Narayani. So Sri refers to the harmony between the two forces operating in the body. In Anahata is a heart chakra, so almost in the middle of the body, that is called Sri. So harmonious state in the body, that is called Sri. So Mata means so if the word letters of Mata are reversed, then it is Tama. Then Tama reversed Mata. So Mata means only the tamogunas are being used for karmacharana or action through the Panchabrahmas earth element, that is called Mata. So the form that is entity that is using only the heavy duty elements in the action item, as an action item in the witness mode. So that is called Mata. Okay, these are formal meanings. So let us see the informal or colloquial meanings of this nama, and then we'll try to analyze further. So generally accepted meaning for Sri that everybody thinks is it's a reflection of the wealth, the money. So that is although it is true, but it is not complete meaning. So as we discussed, Sri means it's a harmonious state. If a person is in a harmonious state, that person, he or she, can get all the wealth. That includes money and fame and everything. So it is not just limited to wealth alone. Sri means it is limited. It is beyond that. So the general accepted meaning for Sri is wealth. But there are two types of wealth in existence. There is a physical wealth which may decrease, which may deplete over the time. And there is also a spiritual wealth. So that is external wealth and the internal wealth. Okay. So in the external wealth, the physical wealth, so-called the physical wealth, there are two types based on the choice of the individuals. So the positive wealth and the negative wealth. Okay. So both are possible. So positive wealth means the wealth that is that reflects the positive energy. Negative wealth means wealth that reflects the negative energy. Both you can see in the world, in the universe, in the physical world. So Sri Mata means the energy form that can control the positive wealth and negative wealth and the neutral wealth by being beyond these three. That is called Sri Mata. And this controlling is done, and this nourishment is done in an unconditional manner. That is basically the definition of Sri Mata. So the individuals that deserve positive wealth, deserve negative wealth, deserve neutral wealth, based on their individual choice, Sri Mata will give them unconditionally this nourishment. That is Sri Mata. Sri Mata also refers to, many people refer that to being a mother. So the characteristic of being a mother is to be unconditional and nourish the children in an unconditional manner. How to nourish? Based on the choice of the individual. So if the individual chooses positive energy, to give them the positive energy, wealth corresponding to positive energy. If the individual chooses negative energy, wealth corresponding to negative energy. Similarly, individual chooses to be neutral, so wealth corresponding to the neutral. So based on their choice, mother is supposed to give them this wealth in an unconditional manner. And how she can do that? By being beyond these three types of wealths, she will be able to control. That is the explanation for Sri Mata. But is it possible to be unconditional? What are the characteristics of being unconditional? So let us try to analyze that. So if we observe Mother Nature, then we will understand how to be unconditional. What are the qualities of being a mother, unconditional mother? So what do we see in nature? So nature, we see there are flower plants, there are fruit plants, and there are also weed plants. So blossoming of flower and eating the fruit, it makes us feel happy. So happiness is sign of. So happy means we feel light, we feel joyful. So that's a sign of being a positive energy. While the weed plants are unwanted, so that's a sign of negative energy. So and also there are the neutral variants like lotus flower, which is not being wetted by the slush and the mud and water and etc. So that's a sign of neutral energy. But Mother Nature does not distinguish these three forms and provides unconditional nourishment to all the three variants. That is positive energy, negative energy and neutral energy. So based on this hypothesis, there are three rules of Mother Nature. So let us identify these three rules. The first rule is in the neighborhood of each positive energy entity, like a mango tree or a flower plant, one can see many unwanted plants, wheat plants. So if the fruit tree and the flower tree is a positive energy, wheat plants are negative energy. So the first rule is, whatever is the extent of positive energy, it is to be balanced by that much of negative energy. This is the first rule of Mother Nature. So positive energy always balanced by negative energy. So this is also been hypothesized by Krishna in Bhagavad Gita in the form of Paritrana sadhunam vinasa yashaduskrutam dharma samsthapanardhaya sambhavami yuge yuge. So here he mentioned sadhunam. He mentioned dharma, he mentioned sadhunam. Sadhu means neutral element. So dharma samsthapa. What is dharma? Dharma means an attribute that is changing in time and space. That is dharma. So that's something that changes it with time and with space. That is dharma. So if this that means, and adharma means the change that happens too quickly. That is adharma. So these two have to be balanced. If they are not in balance, and if they are skewed in one direction, so what happens is, what Krishna says is, there will be sufficient number of neutral elements that will be generated to correct this imbalance. So he only mentioned that he will correct the imbalance. He did not mention that he will demolish the adharma. He never mentioned that explicitly. Krishna only reiterated that whatever is the imbalance that exists between dharma and adharma, that imbalance is being corrected through the neutral elements that are sadhu. That's all he said. So he basically re-invoked the first rule of Mother Nature in Bhagavad Gita. But that has been misinterpreted by many people, saying that Krishna said he will demolish the adharma. He never mentioned that. If you remove the negative energy, then the whole universe is driven into instability, because everybody is positive, and if everybody is positive, then there is nothing to balance. Okay, so that is the first rule of Mother Nature. So second rule of Mother Nature is that some plants will give 1,000 fruits, some plants give 100, some will give only 10, some may not even yield any output. So the rule is that based on the sankalpa or the power of intent of the individual, the result is in commensuration with that power of intent. If the power of intent is strong, then the yield is also strong. It is not limited because the nourishment is limited. It is limited by the sankalpa of the individual. That if the individual sankalpa is only it's weak, then the nourishment is also weak, then the yield is also weak. If the sankalpa is strong, then the nourishment is also strong, then the yield is also high. So that is the second rule. Second rule is that the output that you generate is a reflection of the power of intent that you are possessing. That's the second rule. The third rule is that some plants, they transform into trees and then become huge trees, and some only grow to some extent, and some are died in the initial phase itself. So where is the difference? So the difference is that in the second rule, that if we seek one fruit or one flower from Mother Nature, we will get multiple. That is the second rule. And the third rule is that so we are limited by our own power of intent. So based on our power of intent or sankalpa, that dictates our destination. So that is what so these are the three rules that that Mother Nature follows, and those individuals that they adhering to these rules, they will be close to Mother Nature. Those who violate, they will be away from Mother Nature. They will not get the blessings of the Mother Nature. So Sri Mata means like acting like a Mother Nature who can transform unconditionality into conditionality and conditionality into unconditionality, and then able to provide nourishment based on the choices of the individuals in the form of wealth corresponding to positive energy, wealth corresponding to negative energy, and wealth corresponding to neutral energy. And how she is able to do it? She is able to do it by being beyond these three. So that's why she uses only tamogunas. So tamoguna are, as we discussed, they are heavy duty action items, heavy duty attributes. So with the tamogunas, being unconditional, she can draw any amount of positive energy wealth, any amount of negative energy wealth, any amount of neutral energy element, neutral energy wealth. So that is the true nature of unconditional mother. That is what Mother Nature also follows. And how she is able to do it? Because of Sri. Sri means the harmony that exists within that mother, the harmony of northbound and southbound forces. Because of that, she can generate any amount of energy, any amount of wealth in any form. So this is the definition of Sri Mata. The next nama or energy entity is Sri Maharagni. Sri Maharagni, Sri already we have discussed. Maharagni, it is referring to kind of a royal entity. I mean, there is some kind of a royalty associated with Maharagni. Raja means king. Maharaja means the champion of the king. So Maharagni refers to a champion among the royalty. So what is the distinction here? So Maha, if this word is been analyzed properly, there is no limitation on the what we can draw. So Maha means there is no yardstick how much you can draw. You are only limited by your power of intent. That's what it means. So let us try to understand this term Maha through an example, simple example. Let us say there is a completely filled reservoir or a tank, a water body. So if there is some slit formed, or if some opening is formed, then the water rushes out from that reservoir. So the extent of water rushing out is limited not because of the reservoir, because the reservoir is full anyway. So it is only limited by the dimensions of the slit or the opening that is formed. If the dimension of the opening is very fine, then the force with which water is coming is very high. If the dimension is wider, then the force with which water comes out is small. So what it means is the extent of how much you can draw from the unlimited unconditional reservoir is only limited by the individual's power of intent. That is Maha. So Ragni. So what? So for example, a king ruling a kingdom may have uniform rule across the society for everybody. That is typically what a king may be able to administer and rule. But a Maha Ragni, that means a champion of the king, goes one step further. Based on the individual's need within the society itself, based on the individual's choice, those who need some additional cushion and assistance, they are given more by drawing from those who needed less. So this kind of even balancing can be performed by Maharagni. So what a normal king cannot do, a Maha king can do that. So that is Maharagni. So this is the definition of Maharagni. So the next entity is Srimat Simhasaneswari. Okay. Now in the Sri Mata, so that is the initial phase where the innocence of the children, based on the innocence of the children, unconditionally there is a nourishment given by mother. That is Sri Mata. Sri Maharagni, there is one step further. So as the child is growing from the baby form, it is growing. So the ignorance is slowly fading away. So then there is a faculty of discretion that is opening up. So based on the discretion of the children, the nourishment is given in Sri Maharagni. In Srimat Simhasaneswari, so there is a step further, that is the nourishment is given towards saturation. That is Srimat Simhasaneswari. So Simha means lion. What are the characteristics of the lion? Lion is always satisfied, always happy. So not only that, lion always stays in the present, stays in the current. It is not overly thinking in the past or into the future. It stays in the current, and it is happy and content. So whatever it wants, it eats, and then it just leads its life, and it is also fearless. So how is able to do it? It follows this Patanjali Yoga Sutram called Chitta Vritti Nirodham Yogam. That means Chitta Vritti Nirodham. That means the mind is not oscillating too much. So mind is anchored to Chittam, which is faculty of discretion. So by anchoring the mind to Chittam, and Chittam is supposed to be the earth element. So by staying in the current, it is in yogam. The line is in yogam. So that is a sign of being content, being satisfied, and fearless, being fearless. Those who are fearless, they are not being affected by the illusion, that is Maya. So line is not affected by Maya. So that means the nourishment that is administered from Sri Mata, when the individuals are totally ignorant, and the nourishment that is administered in the form of Sri Maharagni, based on their as the discretion is faculty of discretion is activated, based on the discretion they are given nourishment. So these two nourishments act in such a way that the individuals are driven towards their saturation, and they are being transformed like lions. That's the beauty of the nourishment that a true mother, an unconditional mother provides. That is called Srimat Simhasaneswari. So to transform everybody, whether the individual chooses positive energy or negative energy or neutral energy, whatever is irregardless of the choice of the energy chosen by the individuals, they are being transformed into lions. That means they are not being affected by the illusion, and they are saturated, they are fearless. They stay in the current, and they are in the form of a yogam, like chitta vritti nirodham yogam. So that is the beauty of the nourishment of Mother Nature, and how she can transform them into lions by being beyond this characteristic. That is called Simhasaneswari. Iswari means it's a guru form that is beyond five elements, is called Ishwari. So Simhasaneswari means, so to transform them into lions by being the guru of the lion community. So if the person is guru form of lion community, then he can control the lions. So that's the definition of Srimat Simhasaneswari. So we have discussed right in the beginning that this chanting of Lalita Divya Rahasya Sahasranama Stotra is a training imparted to the faculties. So the first sloka, Sri Mata Sri Maharagni Srimat Simhasaneswari. So what does it convey? Sri Mata conveys the training to faculty of intellect. Sri Maharagni conveys training to faculty of discretion. Srimat Simhasaneswari conveys training to faculty of personality or ego. So that is what the first sloka is teaching us. So we will see the remaining in the next episode. Thank you.